Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and
Following the recent developments, Gervonta Davis's draw against Lamont Roach is set to be ruled a loss after Lamont Roach makes the ultimate move of appealing the decision. Gervonta Tank Davis has now reacted to this situation, claiming he's been cheated and that the commission do not have a mind of their own, as they're clearly following the instructions of the many boxing professionals scattered all over the world.
Tank, you voluntarily took a knee midway through this fight. It was not ruled a knockdown. What happened?
I just got my hair done 2 days ago and she put grease in my shit, so the shit was like, like when you sweating and things like that and the grease.
A technical issue prevented instant replay technology from being utilized during Saturday's Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight, according to the New York State Athletic Commission. Davis, the World Boxing Association lightweight champion, took a knee in the 9th round against Roach so he could wipe his eye after complaining that grease from his braids was bothering him.
You can get knocked out like that, so I'd rather take the knee than, But I didn't really know that you can get disqualified for all that. Or when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my stuff, Davis later explained. When you were sweating and stuff like that, the grease came into my face and it burned my eyes. Seconds before Davis dropped to one knee, he was hit with a left hand from Roach, the reigning World Boxing Association super featherweight champion.
Come in my face, it burnt my eyes type shit. Damn, why y'all booing like I'm saying bullshit? Like, this is real facts. Come on, man. Look at my hair. I just got my shit done.
Veteran referee Steve Willis began to administer a 10 count for Davis after he took the knee, but then inexplicably stopped and ultimately decided not to rule it a knockdown. Davis's impromptu kneel down should have been counted as a knockdown, as the rules of boxing are clear in not allowing fighters to call their own timeouts. Had Davis's knee been ruled as a knockdown, Roach would have won the contest on 2 of the 3 of the judges' scorecards and pulled off a gigantic upset over one of the sport's bigger stars. Instead, the bout ended in a controversial majority draw. The New York State Athletic Commission uses instant replay technology to overturn referees' decisions if the commission feels those decisions are incorrect.
But it's all cool, man. You know how I get. They love you and then they hate you. Turn around and love you again. You know what I mean?
Just recently in February, on the Keyshawn Davis versus Denny's Baranchik undercard in New York, Connor Coyle suffered a cut over his left eye during his fight with Vito Mielnicki, which the referee ruled was from an accidental clash of heads. The commission's use of instant replay overruled that decision, meaning if the fight was stopped due to the cut, Mielnicki would have been declared the winner rather than it going to a technical decision. A similar reversal was not possible Saturday because of a technical issue, according to the New York State Athletic Commission.
What was going through your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more.
During the round in question, following the commission's request for the replay video, there was a technical issue preventing the commission from receiving it within the allotted time for review. A spokesperson for the New York State Athletic Commission said in a statement, "Therefore, the referee's in-ring decision was relied upon and the fight continued. The commission is dedicated to preserving the integrity of combative sports and is committed to working with all promotions and production teams on behalf of the athletes, officials, and fans to ensure technical issues do not occur in the future that prevent the delivery of ringside instant replay feeds to the commission's officials when needed." The New York State Athletic Commission is now reviewing the matter. The commission has the ability to retroactively overturn Willis's call on Saturday and therefore change the result of the bout, although such a move is rare in boxing.
More, and I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds. That's why we need what is it called? Yeah, man.
World Boxing Association President Gilberto Mendoza has further indicated to the ring that he is poised to pursue an immediate rematch between Davis and Roach. The World Boxing Association has the power to order Davis to face Roach again, and failure to do so could result in Davis being stripped of his belt. Davis also had a one-way rematch clause in his contract with Roach in the case that he didn't emerge as the winner, allowing him the opportunity to now trigger an immediate rematch if he wished to do so. Both fighters have indicated their desire for a rematch on social media in the days following the controversial bout.
I didn't know what round it was. Facts.
Tank Eric Blum from DailyMail.com.
Just about everybody in the boxing community agrees that Tank taking a deliberate knee should have resulted in referee Steve Willis calling it a knockdown, which would have given Roach Jr. a 10-8 round. Instead, Willis didn't call it a knockdown, and Tank won the 9th round 10-9, according to 2 judges' scorecards. Since the fight was ultimately called a majority draw on 114 cards with 1 card reading 113 in favor of Davis, this knee being called a knockdown would have meant that Roach Jr. won a split decision victory, taking Davis's World Boxing Association lightweight belt and giving his first professional loss.
I'd ask, when you think about this decision and it being a draw, and you think about what happened in the 9th round, how frustrated are you that that wasn't counted as a knockdown?
Instead, Davis still has an undefeated record that now includes a draw. But according to a March 3rd post on X from Roach Jr., he seems to believe that this result could become overturned. Word round the block, y'all fav fight finna be 30, 1 not 30-0-1, 2 X division champ, Roach Jr. wrote in the post. Roach Jr. is expected to appeal the outcome of this fight, specifically regarding the non-knockdown. And this post would indicate that he's being told that if he does indeed appeal, he can expect the result to get overturned, giving him the win and Davis the loss. Then again, this could just be Roach Jr. simply pouring gasoline on a hot topic right now. More is sure to come from this developing story.
Man, I'm not. Honestly, I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown.
Tank went on to say the reason he briefly took a knee was due to grease in his eyes. However, that excuse may not work on boxing authorities, as the recent social media post from Roach has suggested the result of the fight may be overturned. In what would be a huge turn of events and a monumental result for boxing, Lamont Roach has insinuated that the result of his fight against Gervonta Tank Davis this past weekend could be overturned. Roach, who was, according to many, robbed of a shock upset victory over Davis due to a refereeing blunder in the 9th round, took to social media to tease that Tank may be about to lose his undefeated record. If Roach's post to X has any truth to it, it would be the biggest story to come out of boxing in 2025 so far, and even though he would be crowned the winner, he may end up feeling robbed of getting to enjoy that moment in the ring after taking one of the best fighters in the sport to the distance.
Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic eight count.
International Boxing Hall of Fame inductee and former head of the New York Athletic Commission, Randy Gordon, has spoken out about the controversial Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight and has branded the result one of the worst shaftings in boxing history. Gordon took to social media to say the following: Tank went down on his own, it's still a knockdown. Then, his corner jumped up on the ring apron. The fighter gets disqualified. Where's the problem? And the judges scored it a draw? Poor Lamont Roach got one of the worst shaftings in boxing history last night. I hope Roach appeals. He has a very good case. If a man with Gordon's experience in boxing believes Roach has a very good case, we may well see Davis be handed a loss very soon. Speaking to Boxing Gems, Hall of Fame fighter turned analyst Tim Bradley said that was unacceptable.
Yeah, they made the rules up as, of course, Tank the house fighter. They made the rules up. Yeah, that was bullshit. It should have been called a knockdown. You can't take a break like that. The only person that can do that is the referee.
The knee was crap. They made the rules up. Tank's the house fighter. It should have been called a knockdown. You can't take a break like that. The only person that can do that is the referee. The referee can stop the action, not the other way around. Tank basically told him, hey, I got something in my eye, guy. I need to go to the corner so they can wipe it out. You don't get timeouts like that in boxing. That should have been a knockdown. Period. Bradley then revealed that after watching the action twice, he had Roach as the winner.
The referee can stop the action and say, hey, let me take you to the corner so they can wipe it out. You don't get timeouts like that in boxing, yo. So that was bullshit.
I already went back and watched it. Tank Davis lost. I wasn't scoring it the first time around. People were asking me, who do you think won that round? I was like close or whatever because I was on my own live. But I went back and I watched it and damn, Tank lost that. Even without the knockdown he lost, he just didn't do enough work. The old boxing axiom that states there are no timeouts in this unforgiving game typically applies to fighters themselves. Gervonta Davis definitely broke boxing's rules early in the 9th round of his World Boxing Association lightweight title bout Saturday night when he turned away from Rematch, took a knee, stuck his head between the ropes, and allowed co-trainer Calvin Ford to wipe an obstructive substance from his eyes that never should have been applied to his hair in the days before a fight.
But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And
Referee Steve Willis, as the boxing world well knows by now, should have taken a point from Davis, who would have lost a split decision to Roach had that happened. It should serve as an invaluable lesson for Davis, who grew entirely too accustomed to doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants, despite the best efforts of professional adults who've worked tirelessly to get him to behave like the superstar his previous victories made him. This is professional prize fighting at the elite level. It is his responsibility to know what's allowed, and more importantly, what conduct violates the rules of the sport. Overly concerning yourself with anything other than the dangerous task at hand, putting product in your hair, choreographed, elaborate entrances to the ring, whatever it might be, can become more problematic than those distractions are worth.
I thought I was doing my thing, so I'm not really that frustrated about that. But if that was kind of knockdown, I would win the majority decision.
Just ask Paulie Malignaggi, whose cut man, Danny Milano, transformed himself into an amateur barber between rounds of the former junior welterweight and welterweight champions' 12-round split decision victory over Lovemore and Dew in May 2008. Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach ends in controversy after Roach's near stunner Milano's mastery in his corner enabled Malignaggi to see Ndu and edge the South African contender on the cards in their 12-round fight for Malignaggi's International Boxing Federation junior welterweight title in Manchester, England. Davis's corner assisted him too. The difference, regrettably for everyone involved, is that Ford's illegal assistance should have gotten Davis disqualified in accordance with New York State Athletic Commission guidelines.
Was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee.
Baltimore's Davis did what he did because, again, he became comfortable operating however he wanted, whenever he wanted, without anyone telling him no. Davis did accept blame post-fight for not knowing that his actions weren't within the rules and for losing track of the rounds, his rationale for not picking up the pace after predictably giving away rounds early in their pay-per-view main event. Still, the first half of the 9th round will be forever embedded in the minds of those perplexed by how it was allowed to unfold as it did. Enter Willis, a part-time stand-up comedian who, rather comically, seemed more concerned with the optics of Davis disrespecting the rules of his sport than penalizing him for it. That said, referees make mistakes in real time, particularly in pressurized environments under bright lights.
Then, you know, but I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that, or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
Do you want that rematch next? And
no one is suggesting anything nefarious happened between Willis and Davis. Perhaps a disqualification might have seemed unnecessary to a veteran referee who was in the process of officiating a completely competitive championship fight. It is, however, the undeniable duty of the New York State Athletic Commission, which assigned Willis to officiate this 12-round, 135-pound title fight to help correct egregious errors committed by its referees. Its executive director, Matt Delalio, was seated ringside for this premier boxing champions card. Delalio should have been bothered by this preposterous occurrence, just like the rest of us. It is well within his right as head of the NYSAC to initiate an instant replay review following a round.
it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year.
I'm not sure, bro.
To my earlier point, while there definitely are no timeouts in boxing for the fighters themselves, there are, without a doubt, timeouts available to public employees who are responsible for maintaining the integrity of an event. Dallaglio should have instructed the replay official assigned to sit near a television monitor and ordered a review of Davis' behavior before the 10th round began. Had Dallaglio exercised that right, Davis obviously would have lost a point and a split decision in a fight where the unbeaten WBA lightweight champion was an overwhelming 16, one favorite to win. Instead, Roach was saddled with another draw on his record and the frustration of wondering what could have been, or what should have been, frankly, for the rest of his life. The blame for the official outcome doesn't lie squarely with Dallaglio, though.
I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one?
Roach's handlers should have questioned the commission as soon as the 9th round ended, if for no other reason than to inform Dallaglio that they knew the replay mechanism was at their disposal and should have been used because it could have factored into the outcome. And wow, did it ever! Had Dallaglio or ProBox's Gary Jonas, Roach's promotional representative, done their jobs, Roach would have more leverage in future negotiations than this dubious draw affords him. A victory over Davis would be much more valuable in such tricky talks than a draw. Because Davis wasn't punished for his blatant infractions, Davis and Roach drew on the cards of judges Glenn Feldman and Steve Weisfeld, both of whom scored their bout even, 114 apiece. Judge Eric Marlinsky scored Davis a 113 winner.
One you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
Regardless, this is a teachable moment for promoters as much as officials and commissioners, especially those on the B side in high-profile fights like Davis versus Roach. If you're seated in the corral, the area between the ring and the first row of fans, make your presence known, even if merely in the most professional, tactful way. If you're there to protect the interests of your fighter, then actually do that. Roach told Uncrowned that he is a promotional free agent, but that he has a business partnership with Jonas, who also owns BoxingScene.com, an outlet that employed this writer on a part-time basis and then full-time from 2006 until last year, when Jonas purchased it from Paramount Global in February 2024.
And since this is not the 1900s, since this is not the 1500s, since we have technology, they can utilize all these cameras.
Roach won his prior fight on a card Jonas's company promoted. The Maryland resident defeated Ireland's Fergal McCrory by 8th round technical knockout June 28th in Washington, D.C., where Roach was born. Fortunately for Roach, Davis almost certainly will exercise his immediate rematch clause, which was placed in their contracts by Tom Brown's TGB Promotions in the event Davis lost or fought Roach to a draw. Settling for a draw, when he should have won, nevertheless cost Roach millions of dollars, because becoming the first fighter to defeat Tank is completely different than adding a draw to Davis's previously perfect record.
And replays, if not in real time, at least after the fight, to make the right call and make the wrong decision right. Last thing the sport of boxing needs is for fighters to call some timeout.
Roach performed exactly how he and his father trainer, Lamont Roach Sr., predicted he would. The World Boxing Association super featherweight champion took Davis's vaunted power well throughout their bout, and perhaps most importantly, he never displayed the type of fear or uncertainty many of Davis's prior opponents allowed Tank to use as psychological advantages on his way to producing almost all knockouts. Roach resolutely rejected the idea from Davis, as well as his strongest supporters and his harshest critics, that Roach was in over his head. It wasn't just that he is technically taller than Davis, more that he knew Davis better than anyone else Davis had fought.
On the fight just because there's something going on that they don't like, whether it's getting hurt, frustrated, so on and so forth. Ironically, this is the second time Gervonta did this. The first time he did it was against Hector Garcia.
They were rivals as kids. Roach lost both of their amateur matches on points in 2011, and they sparred many times before Davis turned pro in 2013, the year Roach won a National Golden Gloves title, and Roach made his pro debut in 2014. The 29-year-old Roach's skill, chin, confidence, and grit served him extremely well when it mattered most in the biggest fight of his career. Win or draw, he would have been obligated to grant Davis a rematch. A second showdown sometime this summer at an outdoor stadium somewhere in Baltimore, Washington, D.C., or elsewhere in the DMV area will draw a huge crowd and do big business. It's not the lightweight title fight fans and pundits hoped Davis would take next.
After Hector Garcia landed one of his best uppercuts in that round, moments before Gervonta did that. Remember, if Tank has something in his eye, he could have had moved around quickly and went behind the referee and told him.
This isn't just about Davis receiving an opportunity, though, to prove he is better than he was Saturday night, something he promised post-fight that he would show after getting back in the gym soon to work on himself. This is also the respectful Roach's chance to run it back in front of fans who will want to see their second fight much more than their initial meeting. Wherever they fight again, we can only hope that if there is a need to take a second look at an odd occurrence, as glaring as what transpired Saturday night or otherwise, that replay reviews made readily available won't be ignored. There are millions of reasons why, and that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.